Hi, class. Well, we've come to the end. I'm sure a lot of you are looking forward to the little break you have off between session A and session B. I'm looking forward to it because I'm going to go to a Fibonacci conference. Yeah, I heard it was just as good as the two before it. Get it? Fibonacci. Oh, never mind. Anyway, I just have a couple of things to tell you. Okay, there was a problem with the simulation, and I was actually on the phone for Harvard today for like 30 minutes trying to get it ironed out. And so it's working again. The problem is a lot of you were probably counting on, your Sunday to work on it, and you couldn't. So what I've done is I've actually given you a big extension. You have an extension through Saturday to try to finish it up. And I can't give you much more of an extension than that because I got to get my grades in this weekend. The other thing I'm also giving you an extension on is the amnesty period. The amnesty period ends today. However, I'm going to extend it to Wednesday. As long as you get any past assignment in by Wednesday, it will be graded. You'll get a 10% penalty, but it's like I said, try to avoid getting a 0 because a 0 is just a hell on your average. Let's see, the other big things you have left are the PMBOK, which, again, if you look at it, it's heavily curved. And so for those of you who aren't happy with your quiz grades, you can bring it up. The thing about the PMBOK is it's one question at a time. Typically, I tell you don't use notes or anything like that, but if you want to use notes or your book or whatever while you're taking it, feel free to. But there's some gamesmanship because you only see one question at a time. And the reason why I do that is the actual PMBOK, they do the same thing with these exams. Now, instead of being able to see the entire thing, you only see one question at a time. So that'll be a challenge for you. One thing I noticed about the grades is they seem like a little bit low, meaning you have a lot of people like in the high 80s and you have people in the low 90s and stuff like that. So I'm curving the class, which means that before it was you need a 93 to get an A. Now you need a 91. If you look at the grading scale now, everything has come down 2 points. So if you even do better at the end, then you can pick it up. In terms of the PTs, again, to get a good PT score, just correct everything that you did wrong. Make sure the document is clean, like your table of contents is properly set up and things like that. And for the last part, which is closing time, remember the two things that everybody misses. Well, not everybody, but when people lose points, this is where they lose their points on PT5. One is, remember, in order to close, you have to reassign your people. And two, make sure all contractual agreements are closed. Those with vendors, those with acceptance by your customer, all those legal aspects are tied up. Those are the two things that students typically miss. And if you want to know about a relationship in the future, watch the finale lecture. Now, if some of you have the attitude, if I never see Dr. Cho again, that's great. And I know that's fine. But for those of you who might need help in the future, what that lecture talks about is how we in the TEM department, we're always there for you. I spend a lot of time still talking to other alumni. Some just pop in and say hello. Some ask me to coffee, we talk, and they have a big problem, and then they tell me what they want to do. And then I said, everything you said reasons out well. Why on earth are you talking to me? And then I realized that when you're new in a field or something like that, you may lack confidence. And so you just want to hear from someone. And then after I tell them, yeah, everything you're doing is great, then I never hear from them again. They don't write. They don't call. They don't TikTok. Anyway, the finale talks about those things. Another thing, some of you may have noticed this. Basically, everything in the course is in the modules. Now, there's a lot of dead links and files, and part of the reason why they're all dead is because I don't use them. And so what happens is Canvas, in its wisdom, ends up shutting a lot of things off. But again, all the content in this course is in the modules. And if you look at one section, it talks about job hunting. If nothing else, download the paper that has videos on it. Because when you need to write your resume or something like that, that's what you can reference. As someone who is a hiring manager for 25 years, how much time do you think I give to your resume? This is the way the process works. You submit to a job, and what happens is they take your resume and it goes into a chunk of software. And the chunk of software has gotten more and more sophisticated over time. And then the software spits out who they think is a good candidate based on your job description. Then what HR will do is take that stack of resumes and come back with about 10 or 20 to me saying, these are interesting. And then guess what? I give you 1 minute. I just skim your resume. And if it's not interesting to me, or if it's not compelling, like the dumbest thing people do is they put their education at the top of their resume. No, talk about your skills. Talk about your experience. Make a statement of why I should hire you. That's the most important thing. Your education goes at the bottom. They don't care about your education. They care about what you can do. Hard reality. And especially in today's competitive job market, you need to find every edge you can. And typically, people are so close together, it turns on the smallest of things. But in that 60 seconds I look at your resume, if there's something interesting, I'll stop and go, oh, this is interesting. And then I'll slow down and actually read it all. And then after that, I read your cover letter. Your cover letter matters. Why? Because what is the entire purpose of you looking for a job? It's to get an interview. You want to meet with somebody face to face so you can make a case for yourself. And so that cover letter is your chance to basically convince me why I should hire you. And a lot of people just blow it. They write bad cover letters. And what do? They go to the career office. They use their template. Dear so-and-so. And I've seen students actually address it to the wrong person because they write so many of these things. But it's kind of like the letters are all sort of the same. You're the superest company I've ever seen in my life. And oh my God, I give you my firstborn if you would just hire me. And this is what every job is looking for. 3 things. 1, can you do the job? Do you have the technical skills to do what they're asking for? Like if it's a coding job and you don't know how to code, yeah, you're kind of in trouble. It doesn't matter what a great leader you are or how many patents or whatever you have. If you can't do the basic job, nobody's going to want you. Second thing, do you fit into our culture? So learn about the company, talk to people and say, you know, what's the key to getting along in here? In some, it's about being aggressive. Some, it's more about teamwork. I interviewed with Johnson & Johnson and I totally bombed. The first thing I did when I sat down is ask them, well, they asked me, what do you think of consensus? And I said, I don't believe it. Because by definition, if you come up with a solution that makes everybody happy, it's going to be mediocre. It's going to be in the middle. And so what I prefer to do as a manager and as a leader is that get different opinions and then tell everybody, make your case. And based on that case, I'm going to pick one. And so I don't expect everybody to agree with what we're going to do. But what I do expect is 100% understanding of why we're doing what we're doing. The next part is added value. And you as TEM students, well, for those of you who are TEM students, you have a significant advantage because you're an innovator. And you could talk about the innovative things you've done on this program. So not only do you understand technology and everything else, but you also understand business. And if you're going for a business position, guess what? You could talk about the technology that you've studied and learned about in our program. Anyway, if you have any questions, please let me know. And everyone have a great break.